Hello, scholars. Welcome to a conversation on squares and square roots. I want to take squares and square roots a little bit further. We've been talking about them for about a week now, and I just want to do a little bit more with them before we move on from them. And I want to talk about this idea of cube roots as well. We'll talk about that on the back page real quickly. There's a lot of moments in this instructional video I want you to pause and try on your own, okay? You are not going to get everything out of this that you should if you don't pause and try on your own. So this is your moment. You're going to pause right this moment, and you're going to try problems 1 and problems 2 on your own. And then come back, and we'll talk about it. And if you made a mistake, that's okay. But hopefully, whether you make a mistake or whether you get them right, we're gonna learn something here this moment, and get better. So, pause. Okay, now you unpause. Let's talk about it. Which of the following is a true statement? To square a number, multiply the number by 2. No way! That would be definitely, not right, because squaring and square rooting have nothing to do with the operations multiplication, division, other than the fact we're asking ourselves, what times itself, right? Well, the inverse of squaring a number is to no, please never divide. No, never. Okay. How about this? To square a number, multiply the number by itself. Of course, that is correct. Yes. The by itself. Yes. Let's read this last one. A square root is a number whose square root is an even number. That's just stupid. Okay. Here, moving on. Which of the following is not an example of a perfect square? Well, the square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 200. Well, I don't know. That's got to be between 14 and 15, but not sure what that is. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 64 is 8. I mean, it's got to be this 200, right? It's the only one that doesn't fall perfectly on our number line. If you have your number line out in front of you, you'll see that. It's not on there. Moving on. Okay, so these are things that I expect that you be able to do without a calculator, okay? For example, you need to know 9 squared is 81. That should be memorized. If it's not memorized yet, that's a job for you. And then 3 to the third power, 3 cubed, 3 times 3 times 3. Well, 3 times 3 is 9. And 9 times 3 is 27. This is exactly how I want you to do it. On our next quiz, you're going to see examples of this, just like this. You're going to need to be able to, without a calculator, say 9 squared is 81, 3 to the third power is 27, and then add them together. This, of course, equals 108. Okay, next. Again, so now you know what we're trying to do here. I want you to pause, and just like I did underneath here, I want you to write exactly what it is, and then do the operation. So pause it. I want you to try 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go. Welcome back. Now that you've tried 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, here is what you should do. 14 squared is 196. Minus the square root of 144. Well, 12 times 12 is 144. And 196 minus 12 is 184. 8 squared is 64. Yes, that's 8 times 8, not 8 times 2, silly gooses. And subtract 4 squared is 16. 64 minus 16. Well, let me put that thinking cap on it. I'm going to take 64 minus 10 is 54. 54 take away 6. Well, that gives me to 50, and 2 more is 48. Well, this might be an interesting one. Maybe you got stuck on this one a little bit, but this says 3 times. Remember, when something's just like butted up against something, that means multiplication. says 3 times the square root of 144. And the square root of 144 is 12. So this is really just 3 times 12. 3 times 12 is 36. This is the easiest one. 25 plus the square root of 4 is 2. 27. You need to have these memorized. The square root of 225 is 15 plus the square root of 169 is 13. 15 plus 13, well, 10 plus 10 is 20. 5 plus 3 is 8. 28 is the total. Okay, whether you got those totally right or you missed some, now you should see if you had a mistake where it is and fix it. I promise you a couple of these will be on our next quiz. Michelle purchased a kid's table with a square top. If the area of the square top is 400 inches squared, what is the length of one of the sides? Well, in order to find the area of a square, we do side times side, or you could say side squared, right? Well, side times side, a number times itself, isn't that saying a square root? To find this side length, we need to take the square root of 400. While this isn't one that I said you need to memorize, you should be able to figure this out because 2 times 2 is 4. 0 times 0 gives us these 2 zeros. The square root of 400 is 20. And that's the answer. That's all you got to do. All I need you to know is that if you have a square, you need to take the square root to find the side. Do not divide. Promise me, Scout's honor. You will not divide. Do not divide. Please. You got to take the square root of the area because we need to find a number times itself. Isn't that what a square root is? Yes? Okay, good. 20 inches is the length of each of these sides. Okay? Next one, Titus wants to fence a square area. Oh, we got to draw a square. Have you drawn a square? I want you to draw a square. Please draw a square. Everybody should have a square. I mean, that's not a great looking square, but we're going to go with it. Okay. So he wants the area to be 121 square feet. Oh, a perfect square, if you will. Yes. Okay. So we want to find the perimeter, but don't get stuck on this word, friends. Don't get stuck here. Every time you see a square and I give you the area, you need to find the side length first. And you know to find a side length, we need to figure out what times itself gives us this number. You know what that is. Yes, write it down. Don't wait for me. Write it down. That is 11 times 11. The side length is equal to the square root of 121, which equals 11. Smiley face, star, tree. Oh, how exciting. Okay. So we know each of these sides is 11. We want the perimeter. Perimeter is all the sides added together. So there's an 11 here, an 11 here, and an 11 here. 11 times 4 sides, that is 44. The perimeter is 44 feet. Crushing it. Turn the page. Easy peasy lemon squeezy practice time. I want you to try this. What times itself gives us this area? What times itself gives us this area? And these cubes. Ooh. What times itself 3 times? Because how do you find the volume of a cube? Side times side times side, or length times width times height, if you will. Okay, pause the video. 4 of these. Welcome back. I'm glad you tried these. You should have all 4 of these tried. See if you did it correct. Well, to find the side lengths of this, we are not dividing. We are taking the square root. The square root of 81 is 9. 9 inches. Don't forget your units. Inches squared down to just a side length is inches. The square root of 121 is 11. Now it's time for some cube roots. What times itself 3 times gives us this number? What times what times what? Well, if you start small, you'll figure it out, because 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1. 2 times 2 times 2 equals 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. Oh, we're escalating very quickly, aren't we? 3 times 3 times 3 equals 27. 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. These are always going to be super small numbers, friends, because cube roots grow very quickly. We can keep playing with this. 4 times 4 times 4. Well, 4 times 4 is 16. 4 16s is 64. That escalated very quickly. What about 5 times 5 times 5? 5 times 5 is 25. Times 5 is 125. Length times width times height. All the same because it's a cube. 5 inches. Okay, thank you for hanging out with me for less than 13 minutes. You should know what to work on next.